Hello students, how are you all? Today we are going to start chapter 7 of our history, architecture in the medieval period. In this chapter you will learn about what is architecture, types of monuments, importance of monumental architecture during the early medieval period, South India's architecture, architecture during the Sultanate period, the Mughal architecture. What is architecture? Making design and plan of a building or buildings is called architecture. Architectural buildings or monuments are seen as the power of the ruler. A large number of monuments were built during the medieval period. Types of monuments. During this period, two types of structures were built by rulers. Individual structures. Individual structures include forts, havelis or palaces, garden residences and tombs. This is the image of Agra Fort. Public structures. Public structures are meant for the public activities. These included temples, mosques, tanks, wells, caravan, sarais, and bazaars. Importance of monumental architecture. The medieval period was very rich in the field of architecture as kings built structures to show their power. They built architectures meant for public activities. Architecture was the symbol of power, wealth, and devotion of the king. Kings also built monuments to celebrate their victories in wars. Kings built monuments so that the future generations could remember them. Architecture during the early medieval period. North India's architecture. This period was a golden period of architecture. The Nagara style of North Indian style of architecture became very popular. The Lingaraj temple of Bhubaneswar, the Sun temple at Konark, and Jagannath temple at Puri are example of Nagara style of architecture. These temples have a Vimana towered shrine, Jagmohan audience hall, Nat Mandap dance hall, and Bhog Mandapa offering hall. Many excellent temples of this style are found at Khajuraho in Madhya Pradesh. These temples are especially known for their carvings and sculptures. The Jain temple of Dilwara at Mount Abu in Rajasthan is famous for its rich carvings and designs. These are the images of some temples: Sun temple, Konark, Thandaria Mahadev temple, Jain temple, Jagannath temple, Puri, Khajuraho temple. South India's architecture. The Pallavas, the Pandyas and the Cholas gave great architectural style and design. The Pallava temples and the rock-cut rathas are the famous monuments. They are called rock-cut shrines because they were carved out of a large rock or hillside. The most beautiful of them are the temples of Mahabalipuram near Chennai. These temples consisted of a shrine, room and an entrance hall or a veranda. This is the image of Gopuram of Vedaranyan temple. The gateway was known as Gopuram. A tall spire-like structure was built over the central shrine, which was known as Shikhara. The images of gods and goddesses were made in stone or in bronze. The temples made by the Chola rulers are great examples of the Dravidian style of temple architecture. These temples have a square vimana in pyramidal shape, mandapa, gopuram and halls with beautifully decorated columns. The most famous temple of this period is the Brihadeshwar temple at Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu. It is also known as the Rajarajeshwara temple. This is the image of Sri Brihadeshwara temple, Thanjavur. Architecture during the Sultanate period. The Turks and the Afghans also brought with them new styles of architecture. When their styles were mixed with the Indian styles, a new form of architecture came into existence. This is generally known as the Indo-Islamic style of architecture. The two basic features of this were the true arc and dome. The arc is pointed, not supported by a beam. This is the image of Qutub Minar, Delhi. The dome is a large area enclosed by a hollow semicircular roof. These forms began to be used and in mosques, palaces, tombs and houses also. The Qutub Minar and the Quwwat-ul-Islam Mosque at Delhi are the examples of Indo-Islamic style. The Qutub Minar is 72.5 meters high and has 378 stairs. It is mainly built of red sandstone. Qutub Minar was dedicated to the Sufi saint Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Alauddin Khilji built the Alai Darwaza. This is the image of Alai Darwaza, Qutub Complex, Delhi. The Mughal architecture. The Mughal architecture saw new heights. This was because Mughals were richer and the empire was more stable. The buildings of the Mughal period are based on the Indo-Islamic style of architecture. The arch and the dome continued to be used. Red sandstone and white marble were used for construction. The Mughals built beautiful forts, palaces, public buildings, baulis, water tanks or wells, mosques, etc. Babur used the concept of garden places in India. He built beautiful places at Agra, Sikri and Dholpur are the famous constructions by Akbar. These gardens are popularly known as Charbagh, that is, Four Garden. Humayun didn't find much time for construction works, yet he built a palace at Delhi named Din Panha. Sher Shah made Purana Killa in Delhi and the mausoleum at Sasaram in Bihar. This is the image of Purana Killa at Delhi. Akbar. The Mughal architecture beauties actually began with Akbar. The tomb of Humayun in Delhi, magnificent palaces and pavilions in red sandstone, and an impressive gateway known as Buland Darwaza are the famous construction by Akbar. Other important monuments are Jama Masjid tomb of Sheikh Salim Chishti and the Panch Mahal. The architecture of Fatehpur Sikri is an excellent mixture of Persian, Central Asian and various Indian styles. These are the images of some beautiful architectures in India. Humayun tomb, Delhi, Buland Darwaza, Fatehpur Sikri, Panch Mahal, Fatehpur Sikri, Jama Masjid, Delhi. Jahangir is known for painting and laying out gardens. One of the most famous gardens made by him is the Shalimar Bagh in Kashmir. Akbar's tomb at Sikandara was built by him. His wife Noor Jahan constructed the tomb of Itmaduddaulah. Now let's look at this case study. Shah Jahan and architecture. Shah Jahan is remembered for his architectural achievements. His rule was the golden age of Mughal architecture. He built the Taj Mahal, Red Fort, Jama Masjid at Delhi and Jahangir's tomb at Lahore. Shah Jahan built the Jama Masjid at Delhi. The inlays design started during Shah Jahan. The craftsmen used a special skill called Pietra Dura for inlaying the precious and semi-precious stones in the white marble. Marble was the favorite material of Shah Jahan. Summing up, Charbagh, a Persian word meaning four gardens. Dome, a rounded roof of a building like a tomb. Gopuram, the gateway of temple in South India. Mausoleum, a building housing a Muslim tomb. Pietra Dura, an inlay work of precious and semi-precious stones in marbles. Thank you class. Let's meet in the next class.